I love that we all come together to support one another to help really drive and boost the industry that we are in.
Devant toi, mon cœur se serre. Devant toi, je suis si fragile, un génie, perdu dans la foule, le souffle court dans nos regards. Je rêve de tes caresses qui m'ont.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining our first Back to Basics session, sponsored by Orly and Madi International. My name is Emma Barron. I'm the Deputy General Manager for Professional Beauty here in the GCC, and I'm very excited to announce our first session of bringing you basic training of nails, hair, skincare, and makeup, which will be happening all week. Just some house rules. We are oversubscribed this morning, so if you have friends or colleagues that haven't made it into the session, please point them into either Madi International's Facebook page or Professional Beauty GCC's Facebook page, where we are streaming live. We will have the opportunity to ask questions at the end of the session, so if you have any questions whatsoever, please pop them into the chat box at the bottom or the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, and I will be there to ask Lauren questions for you. So I'm really pleased to announce that I have Lauren De Ambrosi, who is the corporate trainer for Madi International, here with me today. Hi Lauren, thank you for joining.
Hi, thank you for having me.
How are you?
Great, thank you. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. So we will be talking about common nail problems and how to tackle them. And Lauren will be doing a little demonstration with a model, as well as going through basic nail problems that you might find your clients have on a day-to-day basis and how to treat them. So over to you, Lauren. I will see you at the end of the session.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Emma. So just as Emma mentioned, my name is Lauren and I am the corporate trainer for Madi International and I'm the trainer for Orly. So today we will talk about some of the common nail problems that we might face as a nail technician, and even as ourselves, maybe as an end consumer, we might face the same problems and we need to know how we can fix these problems. Mainly I will be focusing on how to fix them using Orly, but also some of them we might be able to use with other products that you have in your salon as well. Okay. So in general, as a nail technician, we have many clients that come in to see us, and we see so many clients, especially within the Middle East. It's almost a fashion to have your nails done regularly and keep up a nice appearance of the nails. But we do see a lot of different problems with the nails, maybe, for example, maybe yellowing, chipping, different things that we need to understand why our clients are having these problems. And it's also our responsibility to help our client to know how they can improve the health of their nails as well. So we will start with some of the basic nail problems, and our first one is the perfect condition of our nail. So I have just some cards here because if I was to bring a client for every single nail type to show you, then I'm sure we would be here all day. I hope if you can see just here. So this is our normal nail type. And this is the perfect nail that we would all like to achieve. And a normal nail type is one that is flexible, slightly flexible, but it doesn't break, it's not brittle, it's not over oily, and a nail polish would last maybe 4, 5, 6 days on a regular nail. Okay, so this is the normal nail type, is what we would all like to aspire to. But with that in mind, most of us do not have a normal nail type. Maybe due to it might be having regular polishes done, or possibly biting the nails, different things within sort of our lifestyle, that we have different problems with our nail. So this is one that is actually very like my nail, and it's very common in the salon, is we have a weak nail. Now, why do we have weak nails? Weak nails, maybe they're a little bit more flexible, they break maybe easily, they're very thin. This might be due to the client. So from her lifestyle, it's possible maybe she has her hands in water a lot. So when a client is soaking their hands in water for more than 20 seconds, our nails absorb a lot of water. And this is what will make the nails weaker, especially if we naturally have a softer nail, then they're more likely to become weaker faster. Plus, additionally, other problems that might be with inside our health, maybe we have a calcium or an iron deficiency. So with these, they're also reflecting on our nails. Our nails always reflect how our health is. So normally if you have a calcium or an iron deficiency, it's most certainly going to show first on your nails. So normally to have a weak nail, this might be one of the problems. Also, for clients that may have hormonal issues, maybe thyroid problems, they normally suffer with a weak, a brittle, or a peeling type of nail as well. Okay, so with our weak nails, we want to introduce a product that has calcium or possibly even iron. And also we need to be aware of what we are doing at home or as a technician. So if I'm a technician in a salon, I need to make sure for my client that when I am filing the nail, I will show once I have my client for my demo, but when I'm filing that I'm using a 180 grit or higher, so maybe 220, 240, but I should not be using 100 or 150 on the natural nail. And I should be filing in one direction to keep the nails in more of a healthier state. So if I have a weak nail, as mentioned, it might be from my lifestyle or even from myself as a technician. If I'm over buffing my client's nails, this will start to make the nails weaker as well. So we can ask our client maybe if she would like to give her nails a break, and we can give her from Orly Nailtrition. And Nailtrition is like a superhero in Orly. This is perfect for anyone that wants to give their nails a break from maybe gel polish, from acrylic. And inside here, we have collagen to help with the moisture of the nails and the hydration. We have bamboo extract, and this one helps to really harden and strengthen the nail, along with calcium. We have iron inside as well. And we have a little bit of African akumi oil, okay? So this is a super nutritious nail strengthener that is a treatment for the nails. And after 2 weeks, 14 days of using, really, your clients will notice a huge difference. And the nails will be closer to a normal nail type. So this is just one of the products that we can use. And throughout today's session, I will talk about some other products and also some of the things that we might do as a nail technician that may affect our clients' nails as well. So that was my weak nail. And another common one that we tend to see is a dry nail. So a dry nail, it might be, again, due to maybe someone who loves to clean a lot, they're using harsh chemicals. Again, it might be due to dehydration in the body, or sometimes even with a dry nail, it can be like hereditary as well. Maybe their parents had this or they've always had dry nails. Okay, and normally you'll see on a dry nail they're a little bit more ridged than an oilier nail. They tend to be more of a whiter colour, possibly sometimes a yellowish colour, and dry nails, they are always very thick. Okay, if we're comparing with an oily or a normal nail, a dry nail is very thick and quite brittle. It breaks very easily. Now, how to detect a dry nail? Maybe if our client has nail polish on, for example, or gel polish. What is the easiest or the quickest way to detect a dry nail? So again, I will show you with my client a little bit later, but if you take your own nails and if you look down directly at the C-curve of your own nails, so for anyone who is watching now, you can take a look at your nails. For the nails that are very curved, they're like exactly like the letter C, but turned on a side. So if my nail is like this, then it's more than likely it's very dry. If the nail has a slight curve, but it's not flat, then this is your normal nail. For any nail that is very flat or a tiny little bit of a curve, then it's more than likely that this nail is an oily nail. So these are the ways to detect the different types of nails without even removing the nail polish. Okay, so for a dry nail, it will be more arched. Okay, and it's not necessarily that each nail on the same client will be all dry. For example, my nails, I have one nail that is dry, one that's a little bit more oily, one that is normal, and this might be due to my smaller fingers. I don't use them so much, so they're maybe more drier. Other nails I am maybe cleaning and using them as tools, and maybe there's chemicals that are drying them, making them more weak, soft, and having different problems as well. Okay, so ladies or even gentlemen, if we have any, when you have your client come in for their manicure, for nail extensions, we should always analyze the nails to give the best advice for our clients. And especially with a dry nail, any client with a dry nail, whatever product you put on, it's most probably going to last the longest. So someone with a dry nail, if they have nail polish, it will maybe last up to 7 days or longer. If they have a gel polish or even acrylic, it will probably last a lot longer as opposed to someone with an oily nail. Anyone with an oily nail, you will see that the nail is a little bit more shiny when they're not wearing nail polish and maybe a little bit dull in colour. With an oily nail, as I mentioned, it's a little bit flatter, and anyone who wears polish, the polish will chip quickly. If they wear gel polish, again, maybe it won't last a full 2 weeks. They will experience the chipping, the peeling, and the same also for gel and acrylic, they will experience the lifting. So always with someone with an oily nail, you really, really need to make sure that you dehydrate the nail before you apply any product on top of the nail. Okay, so for those, I've spoken about my normal nail that doesn't have any problems. I spoke about a weak nail, and then I've covered a dry and an oily nail. Okay, now if I have a dry nail, I really want to give oil to that nail. So we can recommend to any of our clients with dry nails, even if they're wearing gel polish, acrylic, or just even not regular nail polish or nothing at all, we should always recommend a cuticle oil. Or if they want a treatment to really focus on their nails, I can give them from Orly Tough Cookie. So Tough Cookie is more of an oil-based formula. Again, this one has African Akumi extract. This is an oil which is quite famous at the moment with celebrities. They use it on their skin, maybe in their hair. And this oil prevents the nails from breaking and gives them a little bit more of flexibility, but keeps them strong at the same time. So with this one, we use it again as a treatment to help soften the nails slightly, but without damaging the nails. Okay, so this is a perfect treatment to apply to the whole nail. If somebody, again, if they want to give their nails a break, they can apply to the full nail. And again, over 2 weeks, they would apply this treatment. However, if they didn't want to apply this to the nails on a daily basis, maybe they're having gel, nail polish, acrylic, something on their nails, but they want to help to soften the nails. Oops. Then I can give my client cuticle therapy cream, and this is the one that I have here as well. So cuticle therapy cream is like your oil, but in a cream form. So any kind of cuticle cream, really it's very deeply nourishing for the nails, helps to combat a dry or a brittle nail, and the client can apply it daily without having that oily or greasy feeling around their cuticles and on their nails. So this is perfect for anyone with a dry nail. And also this one, again, it's like a hero product. Everybody should have the cuticle therapy cream in their handbag. So we can see from the actual size that I have here, it's very small and it's in a plastic tub. So I can keep this with me in my handbag. When my nails are dry, I can apply a tiny amount to my cuticle and massage into the cuticle. If I have dry knuckles or a dry hand, I can use a tiny amount on my hands. And also I can use my cuticle therapy cream for my elbows, my knees, and my feet as well. So it's a perfect size to fit for our small areas, such as the feet, the knees, elbows, and the hands and the cuticles. This one as well is great when you are starting in your manicure. If you're ready to soak the nails, we can use this as a little bit of a barrier to prevent the cuticle from absorbing so much water. And also we can use this as a mask during a spa treatment as well. So really we'll get to hydrate, nourish, soften the cuticle and the nails as well. Okay. My next one that I have here, I'll just remove that, is a brittle nail. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, with a weak nail, a brittle, or even peeling, it can be due to our health, so our body. Maybe poor nutrition, lack of vitamins, lack of iron, calcium, as I mentioned earlier, and also it could be due to hormonal issues, as mentioned earlier, the hypothyroidism. This is another issue that will give you a brittle nail. Now, again, when we're cleaning in the house, we should always be wearing gloves to prevent the chemicals from damaging our nails. But again, as technicians, when we are in a salon, if we are overbuffing, or maybe my client, she's been wearing extensions for a long period of time, the nail starts to become very dry. And once the nail is very dry, again, we will see the signs of a brittle nail. It breaks very easily and it maybe cuts from the side. In this case, we need to always carry a file with us. And if I want to give my client a treatment, I can go back to my, I have a few. I can go back to my tough cookie if it's a dry and a brittle nail. And if not, I also have my nail defense. And this one is perfect for brittle and also splitting and peeling nails. So that one will bring me on to my next nail type, which is my peeling nail. And with a peeling nail, so we normally as individuals, we experience peeling from the end. And if you didn't know, within our nails, we have anywhere from 30 up to 50 layers inside our nail. Our nail is made up from the layers of our skin, and they're super thin. So the same as if you imagine with an onion, and we are peeling the very thin layers of an onion. Our nail is also very much like that, and we have between 30 to 50 layers inside our nail. So again, it might be due to my client. She files her nails at home and she's filing them backwards and forwards. And what happens with this is we have all of these layers which were stuck together. When we start to create heat, it makes these layers start to separate. And then that's how we get the peeling. Again, peeling might be from over buffing the nail. So maybe as a technician, I'm heavy-handed. Maybe I'm not buffing the correct way. And this is where I will see the problems for my client. And again, if we are wearing products on our nails, this tends to lead to peeling as well because it's quite drying. So if I have a peeling nail, then I will give my nail defense as well. This one is perfect for splitting and peeling nails, as inside here it contains proteins, and these proteins go down through the layers of the nail to bind all of the layers back together. So if we imagine our nail is on the side, like this, and the layers are all separated, once we apply our polish on top, it starts to bind the layers of the nail back together. And mostly with all these nail treatments, after we've used them for around about 2 weeks, you will definitely see an instant result with fixing the problem that it might be. So it might be the dry, the weak, and in this case, the peeling nails. After 2 weeks of using the treatment, you will see a huge difference with your client's nails. Now, it's not really enough for me to offer a treatment to use as a base coat with my client. She should be using it at home as well, because once a week or once every 2 weeks is not the best or the ideal application time. We should be applying a nail treatment maybe every 2 or 3 days, and we build up 3 layers and then remove and start again. So this is the ideal situation, how we would deal with this product. Oops, sorry, I'm just trying to check another one that I have here. Another common problem that we see is vertical ridges. So as I mentioned at the beginning, we might see vertical ridges on a dry nail. And also we might see vertical ridges on an older client. So normally vertical ridges are due to age or a dry nail. And this is probably the one where we really need to be careful when we are buffing the nail. We can buff to try and make the nail a lot smoother, but we need to be careful not to overbuff to thin out where the ridges are, because the nail is almost like a concertina shape. If we remove the top layers, we will leave some areas of the nail quite thin. So what we can do is I can give my client 2 different treatments from Ollie. We need some kind of ridge filler, and normally a ridge filler contains fibers to fill in the gaps of the nail. And whether it's the vertical ridges or even horizontal ridges, We might have our horizontal ridges from incorrect filing, incorrect buffing, from maybe when we are refilling, or maybe refilling with possibly a drill if it's not done correctly. We can get a horizontal ridge. So both of these, we want to fill the nail if we're using a regular nail polish. And I have two different treatments from Orly, which are perfect for these problems. My first one is the ridge filler. And this one does exactly as it says. So it helps to fill in the ridges of the nail. And this one actually is not just, we don't use it as only a ridge filler in Orly. We also use it as a base coat for very light colours as well. And I know this is also a problem with some of the technicians in the salons. We have very light colours, such as maybe this pink that I have here. And we find that it's very difficult to get a smooth, even coverage. So by using ridge filler as my base coat, it creates like a canvas for the nail to really give a nice, smooth and even surface. And all of the light colours, no matter what brand it is, it will give a perfect finish after your 2 layers without any cloudy look to the nails. So this one I can give for my client with the ridge nails, or I can use as a base coat for the light colours. My second one that I have is also a ridge filler, but this is a 2-in-1. So for any client that has ridge nails, but also if they find that their nails are weak, peeling or a little bit damaged, inside here, it also contains calcium to give more strength to the nail, as well as the fibers from the ridge filler. Okay, so this one is a 2-in-1. We can still use it as a base coat for the light colours as well. But this one is more of a treatment to help a weaker nail as well as a ridge nail. And I just have, I think, one left here. So this is a yellow nail. This is probably, again, one that we see very often, especially with clients that are always wearing a nail polish. So with a yellow nail, it can be down to many reasons. Again, certain foods that we're cooking, maybe hair dye, if my client is wearing a very pigmented nail polish, or if my client does not use a base coat with the nail polish, she will experience a yellow looking nail. And other reasons, it could be due to something internal with the health, such as diabetes, again, the thyroid, psoriasis. There is other reasons why my client may have a yellow nail, but most of the time it's due to something that we are doing in the house or the nail polish that we use. But with that one, we have one treatment, which is also for my cuticle, which has run away from me. I will just see if I can find it here. I think the cutie. No. Okay, I will speak for now about the product. So we have one product which is called Cutie, and this one is a cuticle and stain remover for the nails. And this one, normally the Cutique, as I said, we'll use it for the cuticle remover, but you can also apply onto the nail to remove any yellowing or slight stains from the nail. And with this also, we can buff any nail that is slightly yellow to remove the colour from the nail. However, when we are buffing, we really need to be careful on the way that we are buffing the nail. So I will just open here. I have a buffer from Ollie. So when we are buffing the nail, you'll use maybe a grey buffer, and we want to make sure that it's nothing stronger than a 100 grit for the grey buffer. Okay, and when we are buffing, again, I normally see many ladies buffing side to side. And what happens then, if we are buffing side to side, we are removing many layers of our natural nails. When we are buffing, we need to change the way that we are buffing for our client, and we should always buff down the nail. You can take from a side and then go down, and this will help to prevent the nail from thinning, prevent it from peeling, maybe sometimes from becoming drier, but also it will prevent some of the ridges that we are causing as well as to keep the nail in a more healthier condition, as we're always filing down. And this is the perfect way to file a ridged nail. We should file downwards. And if we are buffing for a yellow nail to remove the colour of the yellow, again, we should always buff down to maintain the health of our client's nails. So I mentioned a couple of techniques that it might be that we are doing as a therapist wrong. So as mentioned earlier, if my client has splitting nails or peeling nails, it might be myself. I am filing my client's nails incorrectly backwards and forwards. Or maybe my client, she's doing the same at home. Again, with buffing, if my client has very thin nails, if I'm over buffing, this will be one of the problems. So always buffing in a downwards direction. And again, we tend to have in our mind, or our clients have in their minds, the more we buff the nail, the better the product will stick to the nail. And this is not the case. If we buff the nail too much and the nail becomes too thin, the product will not last on the nail very long at all. So we really need to buff minimal but effectively. Okay. So I think I've described some of, here is my cutic. Okay. So if you can see here, it comes in a polished bottle form, but also we have it in a dropper bottle as well. Okay. So this one we can use for the cuticle, and we can apply directly onto the nail to remove the stains from the nail as well. So, as I mentioned from the beginning, some of the problems may be due to the nails being weak, is that we are having our hands in water for long periods of time. Maybe we are soaking the nails. As a nail technician, ideally, we should not be soaking the nails in water, or we need to try to avoid this as much as possible. By soaking the nails in water, as mentioned at the beginning, our nails absorb a lot of that water. The nails are like a sponge. So either we can convince our client to do a dry manicure, a little bit like what I will do today, or if our client insists to have a water-based manicure, we can soak the nails, but only for a maximum of 20 seconds. If we soak longer than 20 seconds, that's when the nail starts to absorb the water. Okay, so I will bring over my client in one moment, and we will take a look at her nail and what kinds of products we could use on her nails as well. And even whether it's a color or a treatment, different things that we can give for my client. Okay. Yeah. Do we have any questions at the moment?
We do, but we will come to those at the end of the session because they're still coming through.
Okay.
So I'll see you back there shortly.
So we'll just, rearrange the camera just slightly there. before I begin with my client, as we are in the GCC, and especially with the situation at the moment with COVID, we need to make sure that we are following the correct safety precautions. So I will wear my mask and I will just technician. I should never have my hair down. So I should tie my hair back and I will wear my mask. I will just sanitize my hands. And also here for any technicians that are working inside a salon, it's advisable that you will wear the face shield as well. So we don't know, maybe, I don't know, maybe myself if I've contracted the virus or maybe my client may have. So we want to take extra precaution by wearing this lovely visor. So I will just apply. I think if you can still hear me, yes? And I will sanitize my client's hands with clean prep. So this is always sanitizer. Okay. And turn over. So always the back and the palms of the hands. Okay. And if I really want to take extra precaution, I can sanitize right the way under my client's nails. Especially she has beautiful long nails. So now I'm not sure if you can see from here my client's nails. Okay, and here we can see she has slight yellowing of the nail. And this is normally due to a drier nail. And also, if I look, as I mentioned earlier, right down the C curve, her nails are very curved, which will give me my dry nails. Okay, so I can tell my client has dry nails and she has a little bit of yellowing. And also, I see that she has a crack over the nail. Again, this is due to a dry nail, they can become quite brittle. Okay. So for my client, I would maybe recommend the Tub Cookie for her nails. And I sanitize, but I will put my gloves on as well. So I will just put my gloves on. Now, due to the time, I'm not, and obviously the subject of today is to focus on the conditions of the nails. So I'm not going to go into a full manicure, but we'll just look at my client's nails and what I can do for her nails. So as mentioned, if my client came in with a nail polish, I would remove her nail polish with Genius Remover or any other nail polish. Now, I will only use nail polish at the beginning of a manicure. I will never use nail polish remover at the end of a manicure. Simply because if she's had a lovely scrub or the exfoliator, a mask, followed by our finishing cream, the nails have absorbed a lot of vitamins and nutrients. And if I go with my acetone remover, it will really dry out the nails. So in that case, at the end of a manicure, before I put polish on the nails, I will use either my cream prep or my 3-in-1 cleanser, which are both alcohol-based, to prepare the nail before the nail polish. So as I'm at the beginning, I'm not going to do a wet manicure as such. I will use my cutique. So as I mentioned, this is the cuticle eraser and stain remover. So I will just take my index nail here so we can see a quick example, and I will apply directly to the cuticle and swipe, and onto the nail itself as well. So by applying onto the nail, I can really get rid of some of the yellowing colour, although because her nail is dry, there will be naturally more of a creamy colour. And I will take my pressure from here. So we have from Ollie a nice metal pressure which has been sanitized. I have my cuticle nippers here, but I always try to avoid cuticle nippers. When we are cutting or overcutting in the salon, this will result in the client's nails or the client's cuticle growing back thicker, and they will experience more drier and thicker cuticles as a result of overcutting. So always we need to try to avoid overcutting, and instead we can try to buff the cuticle a little. So I will just, now I have my cutique, I will push the cuticle back, and the cuticle really goes back so easily with the cuticle. And it's maybe not so easy to see on the video here, but we start to get a layer of skin buildup on my pusher. Just remove that. And then I can lightly, I'm not scraping with pressure, but I'm lightly just gliding down the nail to remove the excess of the cutique, which will help to remove any stains from the nail. So I'm really lightly, I'm not putting any pressure on the nail at all when I'm doing this, because my aim is not to scrape the nail, I'm just lightly removing the cutique from the nail. My client's cuticles are not really overgrown, so I'm not going to cut them, as I don't want her cuticles to be thick and overgrown. So normally I would apply my cutique to all 5 nails, work on 5, and then the other hand. But for now, I will just work on the 1. I will remove a little bit of the excess. And even a little bit difficult to see, but you can see almost like a brown, tiny little bit of a brown mark on the head there. From underneath. So actually my client's nails were clean. She's washed and cleaned her nails, but still from the skin I'm managing to get a lot of dirt from underneath the nail as well, from the cutique. It's softening the nails. And then when I'm buffing, I can, if I'm not going to use a cuticle nipper, I can just lightly buff back the cuticle area and then buff the nail. So I can come down, as mentioned earlier, down the nail. For me, I like to switch hands. Okay, and that's pretty much all I'm going to do for buffing. So even if you're preparing for an acrylic or a gel polish, of course we need to make sure all of the sides and around the cuticle we have removed the shine, but always buffing in a downwards motion. As mentioned earlier, when I'm filing the nail, I can use a 180, 220, 240, a high grit for an acrylic nail. I should not use a 100 grit file on a natural nail. If I use a 100 grit file, such as the back of this zebra file, I will really damage my client's nails. And it's very easy to tear the nails and they will become brittle or peel. And as mentioned earlier, I should file in one direction. So I can file directly from left to right, as simple as that. The best shape for a nail to make it strong is square, okay? If the nail is round or oval, as a natural nail, normally it can be a little bit weaker or break easily. As a square nail, normally it's a lot stronger. So anyone that does have weak nails, try to have your nails more of a square shape and there's a little bit more strength in a square nail. So always I should just file in one direction and I can soften the corners with my client. Okay, so that's for my preparation. Okay, so I will just do the one nail for now. I prepared the nail, and if I've already done my manicure, as mentioned at the end, I should never clean the nail with acetone at the end. So either I have my choice of clean crack, or I can use my 3-in-1 cleanser. This is from the Gel Effect range, but we can use it throughout all of my services for all. So I can really clean and make sure if I've used any of the QT that I'm using my pad to clean around the cuticle as well to remove the excess of the QT. And I prepared another nail earlier, so I will just clean this one if I need to. So, as my client has dry nails, if she did not want any polish, then I can directly use my tub cupcake. So inside the tub cookie, it's like a blue purplish color, and it contains oil. So this one I cannot use any nail polish on top. It should be worn alone. But I will apply as a nail polish. And I can use 1 or 2 layers for my nail. Now, maybe my client wants to wear a nail polish, but her nails are becoming quite brittle, especially from wearing a nail polish. It's like a plastic seal on the nail, which means almost in a way that the nails are not breathing. Okay, so by applying a regular nail polish, as mentioned, it gives like a plastic shield, and it can make the nail become drier or sometimes even softer. And maybe my client wants to change the health of her nails. So in that case, I could give my client breathable. Okay, and breathable is it's like a treatment for the nails. Inside it contains argan oil, provitamin B5, and vitamin C. So the argan oil will help to nourish and soften the nail. The provitamin B5 will help for the health and strength. And also the vitamin C will help to brighten up the nail plate for my client. So the breathable will be perfect for her. Even if she's not Muslim, it doesn't matter, she can still wear this. as it's a treatment for the nail as well. So just before I use it, I will turn it upside down, shake a little bit. And always with my nail polishes, I don't like to hold them as they become very thick, especially in hotter weather or if my body's hot. So I will place my bottle here on the side or closer, and I will just hold with my 2 fingers to open. And I will take my polish from one side. And with the breathable, it does not need a base coat or a top coat. Already inside the breathable, it contains, you can say, a base and a top coat. So the breathable is a 4 or 5 in 1. It's base coat, it's the color, it's a treatment, it's top coat, and it's breathable. So we can imagine that the breathable is almost creating a net on the nail, which will allow oxygen and water to pass through onto the nail to help nourish the nail. And the same in the opposite way for anyone with an oily nail or a nail that has been soaked in water for a long time. It will help the oil or the water evaporate from the nail as well. So breathable is perfect for so many different types of clients. And even if maybe my client, she likes the color, but she doesn't want a breathable, I can pair it with a regular base coat and a regular top coat, and my breathable will become a normal nail color. So now I will just put another layer of breathable. And normally we only need 2 or 3 thin layers, depending on the color of the nail or desired by the client. And for my tip cookie, I will put 1 more layer onto my nail as well. So already, I did sort of a very quick manicure. I pushed and I've used my petite on this finger here. But already we can see it's a little bit more of a lighter color in comparison with the other nails. It's more brighter. And we've added the tip cookie to give it some nourishment and to help soften the nails so that it's not breaking for the fire. The second one, I use the breathable as a treatment for my client's nails. So even once it's dry and throughout the week, my client can use her cuticle therapy cream. She can massage on the cuticle and on the nail to help give more hydration and moisture and soften the nails. So with the breathable, we can still apply oils or creams on top to help nourish the nail as they will still penetrate through the product as well. Okay, so I would love to continue to talk, but I think we might run out of time if there are some questions. So I will hand over maybe to anyone that has any questions, so that we can answer some of the questions. And if I need my model, I can also demonstrate on her as well.
Amazing, thank you,
I will
Lauren.
just move this so I can see and hear a little bit better.
Brilliant. Someone's asked, what's the use of the Orly treatment armour?
Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
What's the use of Orly treatment armour?
The nail armour.
Yes. Could you just repeat what that does exactly?
Yeah. Let me just see if I have the card. So I will just show for everyone else to see if I have it there. Okay, so here we have the nail armor, and as mentioned earlier, this treatment is for ridges, so anyone with a ridged nail, but also with a weak nail. So it's a 2-in-1 for someone with a weak nail and also with the ridges as well. And this one is perfect as a base coat if we are in the salon or even at home and we have lighter colors. Then the nail armor is even perfect as a base coat for any kind of light colors that we might have. So I hope that has answered the question.
I believe it has. You might have mentioned this earlier on. We had lots of people tuning in via Facebook. But what treatments would you recognise for those who have suffered with having extensions for a long, long time that they can take home and use at home?
Yeah. So for anyone who would like to use a treatment from home, I have the perfect treatment for them, if I can find it here. So with Ollie, we have one treatment which is called Nailtrition. It's almost pink in color. I will show you from here. This is how it looks in the retail packaging. And with this one, it has iron, it has calcium, it contains collagen and bamboo extract, along with African akumi extract. And with this one, you can apply it every single day for 7 days. And after the 7 days, you would remove and then follow again every day for 7 days. So a total of 2 weeks. And after that, the nails are almost restored to a healthy, perfect nail. And I can even speak from personal experience with all of Ollie, as my nails are damaged, they're weak, I wear extensions, and I've tried and tested all of the products. But Nailtrition is perfect as the all-in-one, let's say. If someone has maybe a weak nail, a thin nail, it's damaged from wearing gel, acrylic, or soak-off gel polish, then Nailtrition is the perfect one to use. And because we're applying it every single day, it needs to be 2 weeks without any polish and just focusing every day with the Nailtrition. And it takes maximum 1 or 2 minutes. Maybe I'm at home, I'm watching the TV. I can just open from the bottle and apply 1 layer on my nails. Then the next day, again, 1 layer. And over the time, the nail, it gives almost like a little bit of a shimmer, but by day 7, because of the color, the client will end up more of a pinkish nail. And then she removes and starts again for the 7 days. And not just for female, but also men, if they're in a job where their nails are quite damaged, maybe if they're hands-on with something, they can also use this as well.
Perfect, brilliant. Now this might be an extension of what you've spoken about, but someone's asked if nails are really brittle, how long would you recommend that they be polish free for?
Okay, so in general, as I mentioned earlier, because nail polish is like a shield, it's like a plastic covering over the nail, and the same for gel polish and acrylic. So it's not allowing any oxygen to the nail, any nutrients, so the nail can become soft. Maybe it might be dry or weak or damaged. So for any of the specific treatments, normally you will notice results after 2 weeks. But in general, if we're looking at our full nail and how fast it grows, normally it takes from the top where is the matrix, right the way down to the free edge. It can take up to 6 months for my nail to grow. So normally 6 months is a long time, but this is the total of renewing of the nail. But with most of all these nail products, after 2 weeks, you will see a difference. But I would say give it up to 6 weeks to see the best results overall. But the shortest time is 2 weeks.
Okay, fab. If you're putting the nail nutrition every day, if you're putting on the nail nutrition every day in 1 or 2 weeks, do you have to remove the nail nutrition you put on or just put on another layer?
Okay, so for example, today is Sunday, so I will apply 1 layer today. Tomorrow, I will not remove anything. I will apply 1 layer again, and the same every day for 7 days. After the 7 days, so next Saturday night, I do my last layer. Sunday, I will take my polish remover and I will clean my nails and start again on the 8th day. So on day number 8, we clean the nails and start with a fresh layer number 1 again. And you'll end up with 7 layers on the nail. If you want to, you can apply 2 layers each time. That's not a problem. And the best is to apply every day for 7 days. But if the nails got very thick, or maybe you don't like the color so much, you can remove earlier, but we always need to make sure that there is a fresh layer every day for the 14 days.
Okay, perfect. Do you offer courses to anyone to learn about mani-pedis, or is it just your customers that have Orly in store you offer courses to?
Yes, as of the moment, for any salons or clients that purchase Orly, then we will give the complimentary training along with the products that were purchased. So if they buy the treatment line, they will have training about the treatments. If they buy the full range of Orly, we will do the full training. Even we can do a little bit of basic manicure training or the gel, depending on the line that was purchased. Hopefully soon we do have a training academy with Madi International, and hopefully soon we will be having specific courses with them that are not specific to Orly itself. So they can just maybe contact with Madi International, so info@madi-intl.com, and from there they will be directed to the person in charge, who can give them more information about any courses that will soon be coming up for general treatments, non-related.
Okay, I will pop those details into the chat box, so anyone who wants to reach out about courses or about the Orly products, please, any other contact information you'd like me to add, Lauren, or just the email address?
At the moment, I don't have off the top of my head, but the email address will be perfect enough to ask or to send the questions to. And again, if they want to contact us through Instagram or Facebook, again, Madi_INTL, then we can again respond to the questions through any of our social media or a direct email.
Okay, perfect. Right, I think we've got time for one last question. Could you repeat the treatment for yellow nails? And must it be applied every day? And is it okay for those clients who are, is it breathable for those clients? Is it halal?
Yeah. So actually the treatment for the yellow nails is not a leave-on treatment. So there are many different things by having a regular manicure, making sure that we always use a base coat, or wearing lighter nail polish colors will help a yellow nail. But also, as mentioned earlier, the cutique. I will just see if I can find the larger card so you can see the name exactly. But the cutique is it's a cuticle eraser and also a stain remover. Okay, so the cutique for retail, it comes like this. And I can just apply on the nail directly as a nail polish. And I would also recommend to use maybe an orange wood stick. And I will apply the Q-Teak directly onto the nail where it's stained. Even for smokers that have yellowing on the skin, we can apply directly on the skin as well. Leave it for 30 seconds and then start to use an orange wood stick just to peel off the brown discoloration. And that can be done every couple of days, along with buffing the nail with my grey buffer, buffing downwards, okay? And I can finish off with any kind of cuticle oil to help nourish the nail. But as mentioned before, not to over buff the nails. If it's something more that the client is not wearing nail polish, they're not cooking with strong coloured foods, they don't have a hair dye, and the nails are still yellow, or they've been yellow for a long period of time, then it's possible that there might be some more health issues that maybe they want to refer to a doctor. But if it's something due to smoking or from foods, from nail polish, then Q-Teak, and they will just, it's a liquid gel. Leave on for 30 seconds, use your orange wood stick, and then clean off the rest with a soapy water, and they will notice that the nails become brighter. It might be, if they're deeply stained, that it won't remove everything in the first session, but after maybe 2 times per week, the client can do this at home, followed by regular manicures in the salon as well.
Amazing. Okay, one final question, but also because I'm intrigued.
Yes.
What's the name of the colour that you've got on at the moment, your nail colour?
On my nails, I have 3 different colours.
Okay.
I have on the middle finger and my thumb is Kiss the Bride. On my purple fingers is Scenic Route. And I made actually a marble colour on 4 of my nails here with Paradise Cove with the Point Blank, which is the white colour. And then I used the, similar to this one, in the Breathable, I used a gel called Rage. It's like a rose gold glitter. Yes, so I have Kiss the Bride, Scenic Route, and then a mixture of a few colours for the marble.
Amazing. I love those colours. Perfect, great. Well, that's all we've got time for, I'm afraid, today. But I'm sure that any questions that you have extra for Lauren, I'll pop the email address into the chat and you can reach out directly. Madi International have a Facebook page, Instagram page, there's an Orly Middle East page, so any questions, head over to there. Thank you, Lauren, for joining us this morning. It was really interesting and lots of comments for those who have joined us today. So thank you everyone for joining. And this has been recorded and it will be loaded onto our YouTube channel and will be sent to Madi International and Orly Middle East for them to also share out to your friends or colleagues that might have missed the session or would like to catch up. So thank you everyone for joining us this morning. Thank you, Lauren. We'll be seeing Lauren later on in the week where she will be performing facial demonstrations with Skin Door, so we're looking forward to that. Up next, for those of you, because this is our Back to Basic Nail Day, you
turned it off?
No, at 1 PM. Well, I'll just mute you for the minute. Performing a machine manicure demonstration. So that's at 1 PM. So for those of you who are interested in watching that demo, please head over to Professional Beauty and get registered. This is the first session of our Back to Basics week. We've got tomorrow, we've got lash and brow sessions. On Tuesday, we've got hair extension session, colour session. That's our hair day. Wednesday is all about spa and skincare, where you will see Lauren back with the brand Skin Door. And then on Thursday, we've got tanning demonstrations and makeup demonstrations. So do check out our Instagram page and get registered for any of those sessions.